Ziggity Zig back with another Friday Faff, and it's going to be a battle of the bots. It's going to be the blue Terran up here in the top left of Whirlwind against the red Terran TvT on. Oh man, on Whirlwind, we might be here a while, but we'll see. We'll be up against absolute tank battles from both sides. But it's the red Terran versus the blue, so it'll be a lot easier just to say red versus blue, and there we go. Well, that's actually kind of why I do that. So, this is both set on elite AIs, and both are set on completely random everything other than that. So it's two random elites. Now, today being Friday, I'll just talk over the beginnings of the game because we all know exactly what's going to happen, and what's going to happen is they're both going to make supply depots approximately at the same time. There, the red is just slightly ahead. Now, today being Friday, tomorrow Saturday is just a regular weekend, except for the fact that at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, myself and my friend Tom are going to start a 25-hour marathon of video gaming, predominantly 100% playing WoW from level 1 up. And that is going to be for the charity Extra Life, which is fundraising for the Children's Hospital Miracle Network, one of those two, for local hospitals, local kids hospitals for the two of us. So that is going on over there. The link over to Extra Life is hopefully down below, and you can go over there, you can donate, or you can just leave, well wishes. There is a small contest. Tom's running a few things over on his, and I'm running one on mine, in that you can bet, or there's a pool on what level we will get to, and if you win, I buy you a game. So it's pretty simple, just easy way of doing things, and hopefully you'll donate as well, and we'll see what goes on just there. Now, here's the blue. Is just doing a little scope around the base. In fact, red's doing just a little look around to see if there's any kind of shenaniganry going on, because in theory neither of them know what's going on. So, twitch.tv/ziggityzig and twitch.tv/commanderneon, or you can multi-twitch that, which is hopefully what I'm going to do over in the corner of my screen while I'm doing it at the same time, and we will be wowing starting Saturday morning, November the 2nd. So, if you watch this, and then hopefully if you watch this in the day of, then tomorrow morning you'll come over and join us doing that. Meantime, blue is the first. Oh, I was about to say blue is the first one to leave his base, but no, not leaving the base just yet. Still just peeking around, trying to spot if there's gonna be any kind of shenanigans going on. Ooh, I don't know. Wait, we're gonna hit Z so I can see a little bit more. Bam! There we go. I have now officially hit the Z button. Looks like another barracks going down for both players. It's gonna be double barracks versus double barracks. The two orbital commands are going on at essentially the same point. The red player is just a little bit ahead of the EPM. We're gonna crank up your bits and just get a little bit of binary math there going on, get a little bit of matrix algebra, and perhaps you will be a little bit faster on the EPM, which is exactly the same thing with people, except with people, instead of matrix algebra, you do finger exercises or something like that. Finger exercises like, I don't know, just trying to sign high-scoring Scrabble words as fast as possible, and perhaps that could be the extent of a finger exercise. Now it looks like the red is going to scout out the blue base much sooner than the blue is going to scout out the red, so the red knows exactly where blue is at. There is no wall-off just here, but this SCV is going to escape with his life with that kind of an EPM. Yes, you would. So now he's just going to sort of hang out back here at the back of the base now. Meantime, this SCV does not know where the red base is, but the red knows where the blue is. If I switch back and forth, that's really annoying because now it's just green in both cases. Whoa, it went pink. Craziness. I don't want it to go pink. So the two SCVs are possibly going to meet up just here, but no, the red player almost saw what the blue player was doing, but meantime the blue player is still just trying to scope out, still trying to see what's going on over here, and does make his way up the ramp just to spawn out, and pretty soon by process of elimination he's going to know exactly where the red player is, and that is not right here at the top of this ramp. So now that he's done that, it looks like both players are now also expanding. There are the two expands, because they're about halfway through, because with just the two barracks expand, there goes the factory. He's going to hop down from the blue player, and the factory's already started there from the red player, so it does look like very, very similar builds. They're both on approximately the same strength of army and the same size of worker supply, yep, except maybe with the red player with just a little bit out in front, mostly due to confidence, because the red player knew where his opponent was, whereas the blue player is still just making sure. The other two possibilities are definitely not a red player, so by Huckham's Razor, he decides to go in and just have a look anyway. The red player is now just kind of peeking up here and is going to, try one of these and just, I'm going to sneak in behind here, you can't see me, all your Marines can't see me, I'm a rock, no, okay, and dies. Gets shot at by these very bulky Marines coming up to the front of their line. They're going to sit at the top of the ramp and just hope that nothing else wanders up here and out of the way. Meantime, with their scouting blue, it's going to come back down here and see if he can find anything. And the red and the blue, the scouts. This red scout, I'm not sure what's going on here, possibly going for a third base. So fast fast second expansion, or perhaps still just looking for some cheese. No, okay, because I actually skipped that entirely, and so not going for an obvious third. And this SCV manages to get up and see what's going on even before these two Marines even saw what was going on. They said, did you see an SCV going by? Yeah, dude, there's like 50 behind us. No, I mean one with another color. Another color? No, you're just talking crazy talk. That was the color of those minerals over there. There was a blue sheen to it. It was like the time that I went on a Hawaiian vacation with my girlfriend, but when we got there, we found out that she was actually allergic to shellfish, but we'd never noticed that before because we don't live in a coastal town. But anyway, this cadre of units over here. I'm not even sure that I'm using that in the right method, but the worker supply is similar, but the army supply is leaning just a little bit ahead for the blue player. There is the starport for both players is happening at the moment, and just about to finish up is the blue one. However, the red, no, does not seem to have. Red is going for double factory, so it seems like a little bit more tech. There's a tech lab on the side of the red factory, the tech lab on the side of the blue factory, so they are going for tanks, so it is going to be a bit of a tank war. So I might just slow down here, because if we're in for a long-haul tank war, I think this game might not be quite as frantic as I had sort of been advertising. However, both on two bases moving towards the tank play, there is some medivacs coming out for the blue player, and it looks like, yep, we're going to start getting a little bit of medivac just to back that up. The red player is still just going for stim and additional units, so it does look like red is going to take a bit of a turn in another direction, choosing to get just additional tanks. So if you look at the units produced right now, oh no, they both have, oh okay, so red did have it. Where's your starport at, brah? I see no starport. Why do I not see a starport? Oh, I was confusing a tank for a medivac. That does happen. There's some Hellions now on their way out for the red player, so just trying to maneuver up and just get this army supply up here. So the red player does seem to be ever so slightly ahead, but the problem there is that the blue player does have some medivacs on the way, and sort of trying to point out some sort of DNA strand drawing with the supply depot, but here comes a medivac this is going to be the most useless drop in history, where this medevac is coming down here to do a drop of nothing. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. Coming up here for a quick little peek. Sees nothing. Does draw the Marines out of the way. This is kind of an interesting play. If there was an army completely behind it, then what you do there is you would pull the army away from the front line, and then you'd be able to bring in the rest of your units, and they would just wipe up the tanks, and you would totally have won, and we wouldn't have to sit around here for this entire time. There's a third base going down by the red, and the third base by the blue up here in the top as well. This SCV, so it's SCV versus medevac. This medevac having absolutely nothing in it. That could have been detrimental. I don't know what's going on here. There's just a couple of medevacs over here right now, so it does seem to be mostly tank-based and numerous other yeah, Marine, Medevac, Marauder, and a bunch of tanks just sort of on the defensive line just there, both trying to secure that third base. Still only at about 100 supply by about 11 minutes in. I say only, but that's like way further than I'd usually get. So I'm just going to adjust myself in my seat and probably take a sip of water, because if it's going to be tank wars, it's going to be long. He says that, and then the game gets won in about 4 seconds. So this SCP is still having a little scout around just to see what is going on. They're just not sneaking in each other's base, which is interesting, because this is why I like playing against the AI instead of humans, because by now the humans would have dropped like 9,000 Marines on me by now. But oh, this SCP did not last very long. He erupted in a cloud of smoke, almost as though he got the farts scared out of him by these tanks. There are 3 tanks right now for the blue player, and there are 5 tanks right now for the red player. So the blue player is going just a little bit more towards the medevac side of things. Here comes just a quick cut of SCVs yet for both players. They are now expanding to their third, and this small little mob right here at the center. So again, this is just prime for drop play. There's a sensor missile turret just there. There's 2 missile turrets just at the front here. I don't think he's building. Yeah, okay, there you go. So he's building a few missile turrets for the red base as well. There's, yep, you got to defend yourself with missile turrets. There's one. There is, just finishing up the sort of, they got the forward missile turrets are just being prepared. 4th base now headed down for the blue player. If you look up here, they are getting some Terrans, a few more weapon upgrades. The red and the blue player are still just having a peek and trying to see what they can do and just sort of gain a foothold on the map whatsoever. They are very, very even still. Red player slightly ahead, but once again with the slight amount that they are ahead is that fewer medevacs that the red player does not have. So it's 3 medevacs back, and that would be that many other units. Here comes some Widow Mines. Well, there you go. I'm not sure if they both are into Widow Mines at the moment. No, just red player for Widow Mines just yet. Just trying to get that a little bit of invisibility down there, and now we're getting another barracks. So still just working on a few production buildings, still just continuing on. The tech has not really gotten out of the way. There are 2 armories now for the blue player, so possibly going a little heavier into the tech play of things, because there is, I think, oh no, did I see Infernal Pre-Igniter? I did not. It's a couple more Hellions, and I think it's just the blue player right now that's working on the Hellions. Oh no, blue is getting... Oh no, it's red that's making the Hellions. Why can I not tell the difference between blue and red? So red is going a bit more tech heavy, getting a 4th base. There is the 4th base, in fact, 5 both players, so it's still continuing out. The income right now is quite a bit high, although they are keeping their minerals down. I don't really care about that because it is the AI and it's programmed to do things like that. I am more interested in seeing what's going to happen with the rest of these units. Almost mined out, are getting close to being mined out in the main just over there. Now this SCV possibly just did see this 5th base over here. In fact, we're going to have a quick peek and see. Yes, it does see in that matter, but if you have a look at what's going on, the medevac scout did spot all of that, but as far as red goes, they did not see anything of blue's base. Still has no idea what's going on down there. Finally seeing a medevac, so it's going to be the exact same 2 armies going up now at 160 supply, just barely here, but still not seeing any move out just yet. Here is a number of units, and they're just going to take out the rocks. So we're going to have a little bit of target practice going on here in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, just a 4th base currently. Here are the forward units, and we're going to drop a factory apparently at the bottom. I thought that was going to be a barracks, but I guess not. Here come a few more units, so a couple more Marines are slowly moving their way out across the base, but the brunt of the army is all going to stay right here. Here comes this medevac once more, just going to come peek through here and have a look and see what they can see, and I'm sad to say that perhaps at this point they're going to wander across the back of this army, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to see what's going on there. And now both armies are pretty much just going to cross each other's paths. All the tanks are not going to land themselves there because they are actually completely unaware of each other. These ones just came out to do some target practice, and it looks like I think red is probably going to just mount up down here at the bottom with the tanks. The tanks are going to get into place, and now it does seem like blue is getting kind of cold feet, does not know what to do, where red has now moved up and is now taking out the natural base, getting into the blue's natural. Meantime, blue is just luckily into the expansions and is managing to stop red in their tracks, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be any defense up here. There's one Viking, so the Viking does land and is going to try to take out a few of these units, but it's easily going to get taken out by these Hellions and Hellbats. It does look like the blue is deciding to move its army all the way back, but for some reason red was not able to quite get through that, and now blue is coming back to return, and they're going to get stuck against each other on the other sides, on the 2 sides of these towers, and he's just trying to get into a position where they can mount up their tanks. I keep saying mount up, and it doesn't even make any sense. And the tanks is going to be helpful there because red is now doing a quick scan on there just to see what they've got, but it looks like, oh, blue is able to take out most of these units there because red was just not able to set itself up. The Widowmine's not even able to bury, so now that was quite a loss as far as red goes. It doesn't seem there's not much of a difference there because blue did lose a number of buildings and almost lost this one expansion. However, at this point, all the expansions from blue are intact. This one expansion from red was compromised and was not able to continue moving on. There's just one kind of half scouting factory. I don't really know what's going on down here, but it is not going to last very long, so it is going to get taken out. And now the main army from red is down here on the base on this one ramp, and it's pretty much into air. There is a Thor right in the middle of that, so I'm always excited to see Thor is here, which you probably hear more often from other casters. He says as though he's an actual caster, but I'm just looking at an AI game because they're fun! This little battle back in the 4th year, so they are slowly taking out their own armies, but it does look like blue does have the superior army right now. Here come the reinforcements, and now if they just need the air superiority because these tanks did take over the ground, but there is just one remaining air unit just there, the Raven just sort of floating around. Well, if you don't count the medevac at the same time because it's not really, well, as a unit, it's kind of a unit. And I think this is probably going to be it for blue. Once blue can move the tanks down and just sort of piggyback their leapfrog. Yeah, that's the one. Not piggyback, leapfrog. That's how you do it with tanks, because if tank piggybacked you, then you would probably have no back anymore. And when Baby's not got back, then Baby does not get rides in fancy cars. I forget how that song goes, but now it's Raven versus Raven. These tanks are slowly piggybacking. I'm going to keep saying it, their way up this ramp, and it looks like they're going to move into this base. But as far as the income tab goes, blue is quite a bit ahead right now, even though they have the same amount of workers, but there's just more bases right now for blue, just expanding, and these units right now, the main portion of blue's army is going to come down here, and it's pretty much going to be game over once they wander through the rest of this. There are only a small amount of units still being produced right now by red, still trying to get out the Ravens, tanks, Marauders, and Marines still being produced, still just sort of trickling their way down here, but unless they can bulk up against this massive army, well, not really a massive army. It's still, it got taken down to only about 150, but these tanks are just going to move up here as soon as they can. Well, I think they're getting a little bit stuck because there's a couple of tanks just sort of sitting here on the ramp that are not able to take this out, but now getting a couple of scans at the same time. This might be a good time for an... Oh, I don't know what would really do well against this if you had some Cloak Banshees or things like that, but I think with the number of air units, there's both players do seem to have Ravens at the moment. There's that Raven going down to the Viking, and I believe there's a few more units trickling their way in here. It's still getting all of the upgrades. There's Infernal Pre-Igniter and some vehicle plating, but that, yes, this is just a slow crawl uphill before the Red Terran is going to say GG because he's got nothing left. There's only a number of these bases just not making enough income to overshoot this. Is where we are now almost at a full 200 army, and you will see the remainder of this trickle slowly come across through here, where there are a few units staying back home at the base here for the blue Terran, but is now up into the main part of the tech and the production facilities of the Red Terran, and so once all of these go down, then it's going to be game over at that point, because the only thing that Red has got at the other bases is just missile turrets and a couple of planetary fortresses. But if you think that your planetary fortress is going to win the game for you, then you probably think that Tybo is an effective use of self-defense. So these just remaining units are still just trickling out of some of these units, and now it's going to be the SCV on a final march towards a bunch of tanks, tanks that slowly did not make their way up. But he's just, yeah, the blue is now sending the tanks over towards the other bases to see if there's anything that can be done there, because up against missile turrets, tanks are going to win that war, and it's going to be a good time. This Viking even wins a war against a missile turret by landing right in the middle, and these bio units are just sitting in here with a couple of Vikings to take up the rest of this, and I think I heard a couple of ghost snipes going on in there, which is kind of exciting, so I'm not sure. I did see, no, it's just an armory over there, so if you look at the units tab, there is, yeah, and there's a ghost or two, there's two ghosts, and there's a few Hellions still remaining, but that is easily it, and there's nothing left for the Red Terran, even though he's still got the scouting SCV. Ever hopeful. He's gonna have a look and say, oh,
base is under attack.
And base is under attack. But I'm still looking. I'm still looking. What if something happened?
Base
and I found a really awesome spot
are under attack.
to put down
Base
like a
is
missile
under
turret,
attack.
and that would be our last defense. And what if we won the game based on that alone? Ooh, that's not the spot, that's not the spot. But what if we won? And what if I was the hero? And then
Base
Betsy
is
Simmons
under attack.
would finally agree to go out with me after all those times that I asked her in high school and she said no. She would finally say yes, because I saved us.
Base is under attack.
Pride of the Red Terran. Even though I'm wearing green, but that's just the view. The pride would be me. Okay,
Our
this isn't the spot
SCVs
either. Oh,
are
yeah.
under attack.
I hope that Hellion doesn't kill me. Oh, I hope I don't get pre-ignited before Betsy Simmons can say yes to going out with me. Oh, we'll totally go out to dinner, and we'll get fortune cookies. And hers will say something kind of funny, but it'll be even funnier
Our
once you add in bed to the end of it.
are under attack.
Oh, and she'll laugh. And she has those beautiful teeth. Oh, Betsy, why didn't you go out with me? Okay. We're almost getting ready to put up this tower. Okay, we're ready to put up the tower. Here goes the tower.
SCVs are under attack.
Right here. Any minute now.
Nuclear launch Our detected.
Maybe I need to...
are
Wait,
under
what?
attack.
Wait. Something just came over my comm. What was that? Nuclear launch
Base
detected.
is under attack.
Nuclear launch detected? That's not good. I don't like nuclear launches.
Additional supplies have
No.
been
Oh, this isn't good. Oh, there's another dude. Hey, what's up, dude? I'm gonna totally build a really awesome missile turret, and then Betsy Simmons is gonna go out with me. You remember Betsy Simmons?
are under attack.
Yeah, you do. You went to our high school. What was your name? Dan? Dave? Everyone was named Dan. There was like 1,000 Dans in high school, so you were another one of the Dans. Okay, yeah, never mind. You don't want to talk? You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Base is under attack.
Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Oh, this is like the time I tried out for football. Okay, missile turret right here. Gonna save the day. Come on, missile turret. Any minute now. Oh, that's a lot of dudes, and they're bigger than I am, and they're gonna laugh at me. Getting revealed. Finally hits up the GG and gets defeated. Still, he's still alive. Maybe he gets taken prisoner and he gets to go out with Betsy Simmons. Go on a hot date and get to second base. If you watched and you're all of this, leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggyzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter @ziggyzig. most of the time I have no idea what I'm doing. Stay tuned!